Well, hello. How is everybody doing this evening? I'm glad to see each and every one of you. We are in North Alabama currently, right now. We're in Albertville, Alabama, and it is cold. It's cold. It's supposed to, however, it's supposed to be 70s in the 70s for Christmas. I hope you're going to have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Um, so glad everybody's doing good. Dina will be here in just a second. Um, hope everybody is happy and well. Dina's been kind of under the weather. She's had this little sinus infection. I don't know if it's sinus infection or what it is. I had it for honestly, about 3 days, all I had it for. And it went away for me. So I was really blessed with it. But Dina's had a tough time. A tough time. She really is. Her brother is fine. Dina's brother. What happened was they went to the hospital and they had to watch it. This honest to God's truth. They had to watch a YouTube video on how, or some type of video on how to do this little temporary fix. So they put a little temporary line down his throat until the next morning. Medina drove him to Vanderbilt Hospital in Nashville, where they replaced that little thing inside. I think he had throat cancer to start off with, and he had to have caused by, believe it or not, cigarettes, and he had to have this I don't know, thing in there where he pushes on it to talk. He talks like this, and his voice is kind of rumbly, and he breathes in and out of it. I don't understand how it's a prosthesis or something, but he yeah, it was a trach prosthesis. That's exactly right. But he told me now that he wished he'd never ever picked up a cigarette. It basically what caused it. So anyway, um, we are down here and we're leaving tomorrow to go back to Tennessee for Christmas. And then after that, we're heading back down to South Alabama for a month to escape the cold weather. And we'll be doing a lot of videos down there, and
Hey guys.
we'll be doing our show from down there also. Is that better?
Yes, Vanderbilt Hospital is very good, Amber. And he is okay. He has to clean this thing every once in a while in his neck, and he just pulled out a piece that he shouldn't have pulled out.
He was sick too at the time, though, wasn't he? Having something like you had.
He's been having sinus issues like I've got.
But I think it's something more than sinus because she had it, her brother had it, her dad had it, her other brother had it. I had just a little bit of it, and it wasn't COVID though, because I had a at home. I bought a couple of COVID tests at Walmart and wanted to find out. I thought it might have been that new Omicron or whatever that thing is, and I took the test. I took the COVID test. So you don't have to jam it up in your nose all the way. You just have to go right here at the front of your nose, run it around, put it in this thing, and about 15 minutes later to tell you if you got COVID. And we tested negative, so at least that's good. Yep. But yeah, I'm glad
I made him a cup of
Champ's
coffee
good.
so he would wake up, guys.
Yeah, I was actually almost asleep on the couch. I ate.
Teresa,
ate,
I'm sorry
and,
if it's stable now. I'm sorry that you have stage 4 thyroid cancer, but I am glad it's stable.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to talk about a couple of things tonight. One is I'm going to discuss. I had talked about this before. Back when I was in law enforcement, we had right after the Dateline things where they were setting up these predators, where they we got talking to the chief, and the chief agreed that we were going to do the sting operation. So we ran a 3 or 4 month, I guess probably 6 month sting operation, where me and two other people posed as young girls and young boys on the internet, and we were had online predators that would contact what they thought were they were talking to 12 and 13-year-old girls and boys for sex, and we arrested like 29 males and one female for sending all kinds of uh, all kinds of stuff. And then once we seized their computers, we got all kinds of stuff, child pornography and everything. Um, but tonight, I want to talk about a couple of things. This has been in the news just like in the last couple of days. Uh, the first one is a girl here that was missing in Florida, a 14-year-old girl missing from Florida. She was found safe after meeting a man during a video game called Fire Max. Now, I'm not familiar with this game. Um, that's her right there. She hardly looks 14, but who can tell anymore? This is the game, the way I understand it. So what they do is they come on the game and play, and they get in these chats, and then once these guys befriend these girls, and they'll play this online game over and over, and they'll keep playing it. Then they befriend them, and then they move on to other means of communication, and finally they groomed them basically over a period of time. Um, if I can read this. Nearly 2 days after she went missing, 14-year-old. Uh, it looks like it's a Spanish name. Was found in North Miami Beach. Police said Sunday after leaving her home with someone she met online. Detectives say that she met the man Saturday through a video game called Fire Max. I'm wondering how long, though, they did talk. It's hard to believe she just met him one day. During the news conference on Monday morning, North Miami Beach Police Chief Richard Ron said the man was more than 10 years older than the victim. Um, he said the teen was located in another state and is now in custody of the FBI and the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Two detectives from Miami Beach, are traveling to that state where the girl was found, and she will be brought back home. Uh, Ron said the suspect, whose identity has not been released at this time, traveled to South Florida to pick up the teen, and took her to another state. But the FBI gets involved with that if they cross state lines for sure. Um, says here that the suspect, whose identity has not been released, let me see. Before she was found, her mother told this WPLG TV that her daughter called her several times and was crying. She said, "Don't tell police. This is no one's fault. Um, she regrets leaving." Police pinged her telephone, and that's one thing good that she still had her phone on her, because a lot of these guys, what they'll do is they'll take the victim's phone, and throw it in the back of a truck that's going up the interstate in the opposite direction to throw
Yeah.
the police off, or they'll give the phone or lay the phone down somewhere, and somebody else will pick it up and use it for themselves, and they'll never find the actual person. um, they pinged her phone and found in another state. According to the police chief, there were discrepancies regarding the teen's movements, and that he did not want to jeopardize the FBI's investigation and confirming what state the teen was found in. Her daughter, the mother said her daughter called Saturday saying she was hungry, cold, and far away. On Sunday, her mother said she was in fear for her daughter's safety. She worried about her being endangered. Yeah, I think so too. Um, Confirmed. See, they confirmed the team was hungry and cold. She was found by authorities and said they immediately addressed those issues and made sure she has a safe place until she could be reunited with her family. And a lot of times they will take them to a safe house and not really a juvenile facility. It might be a foster in the foster home thing. They'll put her with a foster parents until they can reunite with their with their own parents. But these people groom them online. I mean, it's just amazing that these were found safe.
That is amazing.
Because a lot of times they're murdered within the first few hours of being taken. You put enough stuff in my stuff.
Oh, I know he didn't just complain.
Well, I'm just telling you, don't it tastes bitter.
Well, put 3 teaspoons.
Well, I just go. It's just heavy whipping cream. Let's see. Somebody say something here.
Talking about 2 grandbabies that's got COVID. Sketty has 2 that have COVID.
How old are they?
2 and 3.
Oh man,
Babies.
babies. I would here's what I would do if you have kids, if you have grandkids, watch what they're playing online. I would not let them play an online game, period.
You can't let the little ones watch YouTube without sitting there
No.
with them.
No, but I would not let them play an online game. If they want to play a game, I mean, there's plenty of games they can download. You can download kids' game to your computer, to your iPad or computer where they don't have to be online. When they go online, that's the problem. I remember it was about 3 or 4 years ago. It may not have been that much. We did a little thing where we went on this websites we know these predators to be, and all we did was just say hello. We put a false name of a girl like just Sally Mae 14 to the side. That's all we did. And then we went on there, and I mean, I think this when we actually first started our detail. We went on there and didn't say a word, and tons of guys would come on there, send all types of pornography, pictures, everything. It might just come up 15 or 20 seconds, but it's just too much out there. Way too much out there. And people will lie. I mean, these guys will lie to them, say, "Oh no, I'm 14, I'm 15." They could be in their 30s or 40s or older.
Well, I've got a cousin who was watching YouTube with her son. He was 2 to 3 years old, watching a cartoon on YouTube, and she was sitting beside him doing some work, and she happened to glance over at a time when this YouTube cartoon turned into pornography and then straight back into the cartoon. And she complained, and she was told YouTube told her that they can't monitor everything, and these people are doing that.
Sick. Does anybody have any questions? You look at the questions because I can't look at them.
They got no questions for you.
They got no questions for me.
They know it all because you've been teaching them now for the past 3 months.
This is a man arrested after missing student found alive in a coal bunker 5 days after the disappearance. Now,
in his coal bunker.
Yeah. This was actually on ABC News yesterday, and I looked it up today.
What was on there yesterday about her missing, and then
they came out they found him. This is a Utah student. 39-year-old man taken into custody. Where do you think she met him? She met him online. The ordeal that she has been through is dangerous and traumatic, the details of which is only begun to understand, the uncle says. And we're not sure what type of things happened to her, if she was raped or whatever. This is her. She looks fairly young to me, she does. She looks younger than the other girl to me. But why meet a guy online? Why go want to meet him in person?
I don't know. I thought that they were just talking, and maybe somehow he found where she was. I don't know. I didn't get the
Nah.
whole thing
Well,
on that.
we're gonna read it here.
Okay.
Uh, Police arrest Wayne County man after Snow College student Madeline Allen was found covered in coal. Wow. Court filings allege the two met online before the man picked her up at her school and held her against her will.
Hmm.
Wow, that I mean,
Maddie said she heard that she put on social media that she wanted to be kidnapped.
I read a lot about that, but it's hard to believe somebody would do something like that. But I've seen a lot
Now we've seen worse.
crazier
Yeah.
stuff. Police arrested the man in connection with a 5-day disappearance of the Snow College student Madeline Allen. Allen, 19, had been missing since Monday. Right there, my back's killing me up there. When she was last seen leaving her college dorm room in Stampede, San Pete County, Ephraim, around 9:22 p.m. Police said they found Allen on Saturday further south in Wayne County in a home of a 39-year-old man. The man was being held on suspicion of obstruction of justice, aggravated kidnapping, assault, according to probable cause affidavit filed Sunday in Mantes. What was that? Mantes, sixth district court. He has not been formally charged with any crimes. He was held on suspicion but not formally charged with any crimes. We don't have a lot of information about him, Snow County Police Chief Derek Walk said at a Sunday afternoon news conference. We met him for the first time last night. We don't know how extensive his relationship or knowledge of him thus far. Her knowledge of him thus far. What they've got to do is they've got to actually find out if it was any consensual thing at first. The ongoing investigation, certain aspects we are digging into and trying to fully understand fully.
Cheating more said they
What
have
you got to do is,
footage.
yeah, they do. I saw some footage of her walking out the door and maybe getting into the car with him. Here's the deal: she could have voluntarily went with him, and then when they got there, he could have held her captive. Now, that would not be kidnapping, but it would be false imprisonment if you hold somebody against their will. It could be kidnapping if there's once she's been there and then he refuses to let her go. That is it does hold, I don't know exactly all of the, I would have to look exactly what the kidnapping uh, law says, but
He also said it was a kidnapping game. The man did.
kidnapping game.
Yeah, kidnapping game.
Yeah. Well, I don't. It might have started out like that, but the way she was found and everything, I doubt that it was. It became a game to her after that. Um,
Amber said there was also that guy who was catfishing young girls with the Delphi case.
I haven't heard anything 100% on that aspect. Um, It says here, according to the affidavit, Allen met the man in an online chat room. chat group. Arranged arranged to have him pick her up December the 13th. Snow College security footage showed Allen leaving her dorm room Monday night wearing a white fleece jacket, dark shirt, and carrying a plastic bag. Allen's roommates at the Central Utah school reported her missing when she did not return home the next day. So she might have wanted to be picked up from this guy at first, but once he did pick her up and started to go bad, then she, realizes, hey, this is not fun and games anymore. During the days that followed, according to court documents, the man became violent. The man took Allen's phone, allowing her time only to text her family once in the morning on December the 14th, court documents state. The affidavit alleges the man tied up Allen while he was at work, threw her phone away when he discovered police were searching for her, took her wallet, and threatened her, saying that if she left or told anyone about him, he would come after her family and her sister. Local, state, federal law enforcement officers became involved in the search of the missing woman and over the course of 5 days. During the search, police used cell phone tower information to find Allen and Lola, according to court documents. So apparently he didn't turn the phone off. That's real bright of him.
Yeah, but we don't need to tell people.
Well, I mean, they know that. Law enforcement officials conducted a search through the town of about 500 people. As police came to a home at Main Street, they saw a person in light colored hair and slight build in the basement of the home. Court documents state. That's weird how they would see her in the basement from there. A man standing about 6'2", 250 pounds, answered the door and told police that he was alone in the house, according to documents. Police later searched the home and found Allen in the basement coal room, covered in coal. Basement coal room in a basement coal room covered in coal, the documents state. On Saturday night, the school and Allen's family reported that the woman had been found. We got the phone call, and the police chief said, I have her. We dropped to our knees, Allen's father, Jonathan Allen, said. We're so grateful, so grateful, elated. Uh, we we couldn't describe the feelings that we had as we embraced each other. Now that's because so many of people like Gabby and all those others are found dead.
Right.
Um, we are so excited to have our Madeline home. Mother, is it Tanya Allen said, we love her so much, and she has been such a light and joy in our lives. We are grateful that she can continue our lives together with her, that we can continue our lives with her. During the remarks, Snow College President Bradley Cook cautioned young people to be careful about online interactions. Yeah, I say so. Um, that's her parents are pretty excited, especially young people that are online. You need to be careful. Uh, we just have to be very vigilant about these kind of interactions. You never know who you're talking to. Never know. Um, Candlelight visuals had been planned for Sunday night. Snow College and Allen's hometown of Kayville instead became a gathering of gratitude um, after the student was reunited with the family. The ordeal that she has been through is dangerous and traumatic, the details of which have only begun to understand. She's a fighter. She is now a survivor. Jacob Allen, the woman's uncle, said Sunday, we're grateful it is us again, that she is with us again, and she can now recover. And we're not sure what happened to her, but I would bet she was sexually assaulted. Usually that happens fairly quick. But she might have went online and said that. But once he became violent, refused to let her go home, then everything changes. It's like if and you know you see it all the time. Dina, she loves the show. Um, what is
Law
that?
and Order,
Law and
SUV.
Order SUV. If you
Special
these
SVU.
SVU, when a guy takes a girl out, if they start making out and he wants to go further and she says no, that's what no means no. That's what it means, guys. No means no. If you have a son, uh, then you need to explain to him that no means no. That's what it means, and that goes both ways. Even a daughter, no means a no, and that I mean, they really need. Sometimes they think no means maybe, but no means no, and they need to take that to heart.
And you have to teach your sons too
Yeah.
to be careful. I always taught my son and and I've always told my husband and my father-in-law and my brothers, don't ever be alone in a room with a female by yourself, because you never know what can be misunderstood or anything, and then you end up in bad
Well,
trouble.
I'm not saying totally though. I mean, if you got friends that we've known forever, um, you know, I know several friends known forever that uh, that wouldn't apply. But if in a lot of cases, that's yes. I mean, I feel very uncomfortable if I'm in the house and there's just some other females in there that I don't know. We used to have females stay at our house all the time. They
Teenagers.
teenagers. They stayed with Mindy. They lived with us. Actually, we had two or three girls live with us for years, but we just had a policy that we were very careful. I never was there, or Dakota, or me, or another man like we have in the house, a friend of mine, or whatever. We're never there alone for long periods of time with a female. It's just not good practice.
Well, when Mindy had girls spend the night, if I was going to be gone the next morning, I'd wake them up and tell them it was time to go home. And they didn't understand, but I just told them, I'm not going to be here. It's just going to be Tommy and Grandpa and Dakota, and I don't want anything to happen
And not
with
she
them.
didn't not she didn't not trust me or whatever. It's just we never, you know,
You can't bite that.
misconstrued. I don't.
Uh-uh.
What is
You
this?
can't bite. Okay.
What is it?
You shouldn't have put it in your mouth.
What is it? Is it hot?
I'm not telling you it's spicy. Go ahead.
Cajun?
Mm-hmm. You know
It's not
better.
bad.
You know better than to eat things that are just marked for me.
It doesn't say your name
It
on
says
here.
Cajun.
It says sweet and Cajun.
Cajun.
It's not hot.
The Cajun part's going to get you.
It's not hot. Look, you've never going to let me live that down about the deviled eggs, are you?
The deviled eggs
Never.
or the pretzels with jalapeno in them.
What pretzels? I don't remember that.
Well, y'all, I made deviled eggs one Thanksgiving. I think I've told y'all this. I made deviled eggs one Thanksgiving. I made 24 that were regular and 24 that were hot with jalapenos. I left to go to the store. I said, do not eat the deviled eggs. The deviled eggs are for tomorrow for Thanksgiving. I came back and he said, what are you doing? Trying to kill me? He had gotten a hold of one of the ones that was spicy and hot.
Mm.
Don't do that. Those are the ones I like the best. And you don't.
No, I love those things.
You don't need to eat
Well,
them.
I'm gonna tell you,
You don't need to eat them on camera.
I'm a little
Stop eating on camera.
stop eating on camera. I'm a little disappointed. We've lost like 4 or 5 subscribers on our other channel, the Me and My Road Trip.
Tommy, this is this time.
What?
This is this channel's time. We don't need.
Oh, here, you talk. Go
No,
ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Beach Bum says she misses us because she's working on the house.
What house? You working on the house you just bought?
No, the one she's selling.
Okay. Well, we may be more. I'm telling you, we got so much things going around Christmas time. It's hard for us to be online or do anything. And with my computer being broken, I got behind on a lot of my stuff. I saw where there's more people doing this stuff. You're moving the nuts. I saw where a group, it's not Adventures with a Purpose. It's another group. They found a car that had been missing for like 20 years, had 2 people in it, where they went around a curve, a boy and girl went into the water and drowned, and it was a cold case, missing person case for 20 years. And there was another one you told me about too.
It was in Auburn. Guy's been missing since 2000. They found him in the water. Anytime there's been, I would just automatically search the water. If there was water around anywhere near where my child was driving or anything, I would automatically think that.
Yeah, depends on what kind of creek it is, though.
I just searched water. Beach Bum, you think 2022 is going to be better?
For what?
Yeah, for what? I don't know with the way they're locking everything down. I'm just glad that this year everybody can get together with their families. They said that they expect quite a few people to fly. They've had 2 million passengers screened through TSA each day for the past 3 days, and tomorrow is supposed to be even bigger.
I think, we've been trying to decide what we're going to do on our other channel as far as where we're going to go. And every time you look up, there's new variant out, new this, new that. It's just got everybody all freaked out. T.S. Jackson, it's your birthday today?
I think it must be.
Happy birthday, T.S. Jackson. Happy birthday. I'm not going to ask how old you are. I get myself in trouble when I do that.
When he does that, or ask women when her baby's due. He
Yeah.
gets in real bad trouble then.
No, never again.
Now you say that and you'll do it again.
Yeah, Amber E, Chaos Divers. That's right.
Depths of History, Exploring with Nugs.
Yeah, I've watched Exploring with Nugs too. Yeah, Explore. I think it's Exploring with Nugs I watched here recently.
Has there been any word on the little Matthew Vaughn case?
No, not that I have checked, and I've checked just about every day. I started scuba diving when I was about 12 years old. And about when I was 14, I went down to South Florida and did my ocean water dive in 110 feet of water when I was about 14. I went with a diving class. When I was 16, I got my senior diver's rating. And I even dove some caves, some small caves, a Blue Jug Hole in Florida, a few other places. I would love to do some scuba diving around some bridges and stuff where they find all these rifles and cannons and stuff. But that stuff's expensive. Yeah, I hope your day was great, TS. My birthday's coming up in February. They're coming too close together right now. Now, I have any questions? Anything in particular want to talk about? Because that kind of went through that kind of quick. Anybody know of anybody that's missing that we need to address? I'll have Dina jump over here and find them.
Oh, I can find missing people.
Oh, you remember the girl we talked about, Oakley, Carolyn Oakley, I think it was, where the parents were a suspect. In fact, they arrested them for manslaughter. Oh, back-headed girl, pretty little girl. Her sister told police that the wolves ate her. So you wonder where she is and what she had to go through, and because little kids, they say stuff sometimes is exaggeration, but mostly they don't.
The San Antonio Police Department is asking for the public's help in finding 3-year-old Lena Sadar Kill, who authorities say may be in grave immediate danger. She was last seen on Monday between 4 and 5 p.m. at a playground in San Antonio. According to police, she was with her mother, who left her alone for an unknown amount of time, police said. When Lena's mother returned, the girl was gone.
Does it give a picture of her?
Yeah, that's her. Lena is.
Let me try to find her real quick while you're here.
Lena is 4 feet tall and weighs 55 pounds. She is straight, shoulder length brown hair.
What's her name? What's her first name?
Lena, Lina. Beautiful brown eyes.
What's her last name?
Hold on. Lena, Khil. Khil. Police say she was wearing a black jacket, red dress, and black shoes. The case is very active, and police are looking for help in trying to find her. Look at that little
girl. Let me get a picture of her.
She is a beautiful little girl, and they're saying the first 72 hours is the most important in a missing persons investigation. Tommy's fixing to show y'all the pictures of her.
Let me see if I can pull a poster up of her also.
Yeah. This needs to be gotten out there, because this little girl, with her mother leaving her unattended for they don't know how long. That's crazy. You do not leave your children unattended. I can't tell you how many times I see that, and it just absolutely drives me crazy.
Well, that's what happened to you. That's why it drives you crazy. Well, actually, this is in Spanish. I don't see the one in English.
Oh.
Just a second. Yeah, here it is.
All right, hang on, y'all. He's getting to it. Also, there's a disappearance of a 30-year-old Missy Hernandez is being called suspicious by authorities in California, who are asking for the public's help in an ongoing search reaching 2 weeks. She's been missing since December 7th in Fresno, California. Gosh, she is beautiful too.
While I'm getting this one, while you can look at this picture while I'll download this one last thing. This is the picture of her, the missing girl. Yeah, that's how that last one we talked about it hadn't been that long ago. This is the poster.
Look how beautiful she is.
You read that, Dana?
Hold on. Okay, so Amber Alert was issued by the Texas Department of Public Safety on Monday in regards to a 3-year-old, she doesn't look 3, who was abducted in San Antonio, Texas. Lena Sarda Keel was last seen at the 9400 block of Fredericksburg Road around 5 p.m. It gets dark at 5. Um, she was last seen wearing a black jacket, red dress, black shoes. She has straight hair, shoulder length, dark hair, and was last seen wearing it in a ponytail. Please call the San Antonio Police Department if you have seen her. I don't understand how a mother could leave a 3-year-old child for an unknown amount of time at a playground.
No, not 3. I mean, we used to play down the end of the block.
3 years old though.
No, not 3. She doesn't look 3. She looks a little bit older than 3.
Well, it says 3. She is beautiful.
Let me see a closer picture. I mean that is sad, very very sad, because the thing is, especially in cases like that, the chance of being found alive are very slim after about 72 hours.
There are so many missing children, and there is always on the news. How can a 3-year-old be left alone at a park? It baffles me. How old was the mother? 15? I mean,
We don't know too, though. Was she gone to the restroom?
well, it doesn't matter.
I
You
know.
take
I'm
your
not
child
saying.
with you.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying we don't know.
What adult in their right mind would walk away and leave a 3-year-old by themselves on a playground? What person in their right mind? So either the mother is completely out of touch with the world, or I don't know. I mean, I don't understand it. And this mother, I don't know what she's going through today, because she didn't care enough to keep an eye on her child.
Well, look at Michael Vaughn. He slips out of the house.
Yeah, but his dad was in there taking care of his baby brother, and the child went outside. That's totally different than a mother taking her child to a playground and then leaving the 3-year-old and going to who knows where for how she doesn't know how long she was gone. Most mothers would say, I was gone 30 seconds, or I turned my back for a minute and she's gone, but she didn't know how long she's gone. Y'all, I don't know. Am I wrong?
So the police are saying that she may be in the grave.
No, she may be in grave danger.
Okay, let me see. Grave. Okay, grave immediate danger. What is this guy here?
What has he got? He's a runner.
Oh, he's a missing runner
Who was found. Okay. T.S. Jackson, I agree. Any mother that I don't know any mother that would leave their child to go to the restroom. Oh, honey, you little 3-year-old, you just stay right here. Mommy's going to the restroom. I'll
Okay,
be right
here's
back.
what they said. During a press conference, Chief Williams said that Lena was playing at the playground with her mother at their apartment building. So it's like between their apartment buildings, they had a little playground just before she disappeared. Lena's mother left the playground for a short time and returned to find her daughter had vanished.
There
I
you
don't
go.
know what a short time is.
I'm with you, T.S. Maybe the mom's not telling the truth.
She is 4 foot tall, 55 pounds. She is white, has straight shoulder length brown hair, brown eyes, wearing a black jacket, red dress, and black shoes.
Skitty, you have got to be kidding. Skitty said, my sister-in-law used to drop her 3-year-old at the beach because there was lifeguards there. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Well, I guess the 3-year-old grew up and is now an adult. I mean, my gosh. I don't know.
We got friends that are lifeguards right now. They can't watch them all, and the undertow will get you in just a half a second. Plus, somebody could walk up and grab their hands to, come on, we'll go down and we'll go find your daddy or something like that. We used to have lost kids on the beach all the time.
No, I'm sorry. That one has got me baffled. And if they find this child, that mother needs to be charged with neglect or something.
You know, we used to have calls all the time, and even when I was in narcotics, I would hear it. Somebody left their kids in the car, and it's like 90 degrees outside, and they'd have to forcibly get the window open. And I always said, "Girl, the mother needs to go to jail." But the juvenile officer never did put anybody in jail. You remember that? That was
We got
there was
very
a
upset about
big
that.
argument with me and the juvenile officer. I told him, "Don't let me answer the call. They will go to jail."
Tell him about the father that you had contacted about his daughter. He didn't want to come over to pick her up. 15 years old?
Yeah, I don't remember all of that. And you remember it probably more than I do.
Nah.
No, there'd been hundreds of times we had to catch them drinking, and we call the parents, and parents say, "Well, let them go back with whoever they came down there with." And I'd say, "Nope. You either come get them, or I'm taking them to juvenile, and you can come get them up there."
Well, this one dad he called, he had been hearing rumors from the kids on the beach about a girl that was passed out drunk, 15 years old at a party. And he finally found which house she was at, went in, and she was passed out, laying on her back, and completely drunk. And she could have thrown up and drowned and died. And he got her, took her to the police department, called her dad, and her dad said, "Well, I'm here with my new wife in Mobile, and I don't have time to come over there tonight. Just put her in jail for the night, and I'll
Yeah.
come get her tomorrow." And my husband said, "You either get here now, or I'm going to send the police to pick your butt up and put you in jail."
Yeah, for not having the control of your daughter. But you'd be surprised. People just, they'll. I used to work on the Gulf Coast, and they would go to these houses. The parents would rent the house. They would buy. Parents would buy alcohol. They'd leave them down there for the week. They're seniors. They deserve a little blowout. We'd get them alcohol poison, underage possession of alcohol. They'd be DUIs. We had a couple of them run over and killed. We had DUIs. We had 2 or 3 people that walked right out in front of cars and got killed. So, and
Well,
then if you find out the parents did that, you charge the parents too.
there were many times I was in the grocery store in Orange Beach or Gulf Shores, and there would be a mother or an adult female there, looked to be in my age at least, and she would be buying buggies full of alcohol, beer of all kinds, some regular alcohol and all these teenagers standing around her. And I said, "Looks like somebody's going to have a party." And of course, the kids were all like, "Yeah, yeah." And I looked at her and I said, "You do know that you can go to jail for getting alcohol for minors?" Because my husband's a police officer in this town. I know that for sure. No, this isn't for them. Yeah, right. And there was a mother who bought ecstasy and marijuana for sixth graders because she wanted her sixth grade daughter, who was new in the area, to be popular. So she thought it'd be good to have a ecstasy and marijuana party for the kids.
Yeah, ecstasy it raises the temperature of the body up, can actually kill you, boil you from the inside. Plus,
Yeah,
they're finding ecstasy's mixed with fentanyl right now, so that's.
cheat no more. I agree. I don't know how close those kids that were found after 20 years were to their home, but to think that they had been that close and in the water for all those years, that had to be sad.
Mm-hmm. And
Oh, Mystic, her son was ticked because she took her grandson into the women's restroom with her instead of leaving him out in the hall. And he'd have been really mad if the child had gotten kidnapped.
yeah, for sure.
I'm sorry. I don't think that. One thing is, this generation that's coming up behind us, the ones that are in their 30s and 20s right now, they weren't raised like we were, And that one thing is they're not watching the news. They're too busy living their lives to figure out what's going on. And they're
Our
gonna
kids don't watch the news.
no, our kids don't
My
watch the
my
news.
daughter, she's 40 years old. She doesn't watch the news. She has no idea what's going on
Mystic, you
in the
need to have
country.
him watch some of these shows about children that come up missing and how quickly it happens. Look at how quickly Adam was taken. Adam Walsh, the guy walks up and shows him a badge and says, "I'm a policeman. You need to come with me." And the little boy went with him. He wasn't a policeman. That's another
You
thing.
know, Ted Bundy did the same thing. He walked up to a girl and showed her a fake badge and said, "I'm the detective. I need you to come with me," and got her into his VW, which that would have been that ought to be a clear tell sign, but it wasn't.
Okay, y'all, I got to tell you something. The other day, I was with my sister in law and my brother and Tommy, and we were sitting in the room at Dad's house, and we were talking, and we were talking about these crank calls that come in all the time. And I said, "Yeah, you know, the one like the Social Security call you get where somebody's using your Social Security card." This is no lie. We also were talking about the one of our friends whose son, who is 25 years old, got a call from the FBI that they had found a car with his fingerprints in it with blood all over the car, and they needed him to send them a copy of his fingerprints and a $400 card with some money on it. He fell for it. So we were talking about this in my dad's house. No lie. I asked Tommy, it's the truth. My phone rings and I put it on speakerphone because I could tell it was a fake call. And the guy goes, or the girl, a girl or guy, I can't remember what it was. Anyway, they said, yes, your Social Security card has been being used in Mexico, and we need to cut your Social Security card off. I said, "Oh no, 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 no! Don't cut my Social Security card off. I gave my card to Jose so he can get across the border. If you cut it off, he won't be able to use my Social Security card to get across the border. You can do that, ma'am?" And I said, "Yeah, you can do that. That's what I was told. So I just let him use my Social Security card." And she was like, "Well, the FBI has found your fingerprints in a car. That's bloody fingerprints in a car." Y'all, I was dying laughing. I was wondering, okay, they've got my dad's house
Yeah.
bugged. It was hilarious the way it happened. They couldn't get me with the Social Security, so they were going to get me with the bloody
And
handprint.
if you want to watch some good videos over on YouTube, I watch these guys that are hackers. They're actual hackers, and they scam the scammers. They actually, one guy went in. I can't remember the guy's name that does it, but he deleted 500,000 files on the hackers' computers. He even told him what he owed in his checking account, what he had in his checking account. He installed a whole bunch of stuff. It's just you ought to go over there and watch it. It's amazing what these hackers are hacking the hackers. So are hacking the scammers for sure. Um, what is what is so scary is how no one matters, no matter how many horror stories young people go through the with predators. Young people continue to be lured by them. I think I think because some kids are pretty naive, and they'll
Parents are
and
too.
yes, but kids, they'll go online and they'll meet a guy on a game, and he doesn't, he doesn't say anything about wanting to get with them at first. He lures them. Let's be friends. And then once they play this game with him for about 2 or 3 weeks, they'll get to talking on Hangouts, or is another one of the things, the places to go, Hangouts. And, they'll convince them that say the girl says she's 14, he's 15. You want to meet up and, talk in person. My brother's got a car, whatever. And then they get down there and get kidnapped because the guy's lying to them. Or they'll pick them up, say they're 16, they'll pick them up and the guy may be 30 and he'll say, "Well, I'm sorry, I told you a lie. I'm really, I like younger girls." What you know what I mean? It's they'll convince them that it's sad.
Well, one of these days, the children that we raised are going to realize that we're not stupid. We know things. I mean, I know our daughter probably thinks that we're crazy because she doesn't understand us doing the videos. She doesn't understand the YouTube channels and all that. She just, she doesn't want her life out there. And I told her that's fine. We don't mind sharing our adventures. We don't not mind sharing our passion for the missing. And one day when we're dead and gone, you can go back and watch these. You know, so hey, we our main goal is to educate parents and to help find missing children, but to educate parents so that their children don't come up missing. And we can do everything we can to protect our children. There's always going to be that one that, it's possible.
And then with the government saying that guys can go in, or transvestites or whatever trans people can go in bathrooms of the opposite sex, what I tell people is go in the bathrooms that are marked, either one. They're one bathroom. You go into that one bathroom, they're for male, female, family bathroom where you just got one bathroom in there and you can lock it. That way you don't be walked, did it walked in on. But I've heard of
Maddie,
all kinds of stuff happening.
Firefly said, no, Mystic, Sketty said to Firefly, my daughter had a fit because I asked her to look into the neighborhood where she's buying a house for registered offender sex list and crime. Why? Our children should be thankful that we say,
Yeah,
hey,
ours is the same
yeah,
way. I guarantee you. They, oh, Dad, you worry too much.
yeah.
Oh, Dad, not everybody's a criminal. Oh, Dad, he's probably this and that. You know, it's me being in law enforcement all that time. I tend to look at somebody, meet the minute I meet them, I can tell usually about how they talk, how they walk, how they dress. It tells me things about them. And I've been wrong a couple of times, but most of the time I have not. And when I meet them, I say, something about that guy I just don't like. And then 3 or 4 months later, they find out, man, you were right about him. But you know, I understand. I search out everything. If I'm going to be in an area that has um, it looks a little sketchy, I'll look at the crime report of that area. And also if I'm, when we move to certain areas. Now I'm gonna tell you, if you search out for sex offenders in your neighborhood right
Ooh.
now, you'll be surprised because the problem with it is, um, what I like to do is I look at the sex offenders in the area and then I click on them and find out what they are convicted of. If it says they, when they were 15 years old and their girlfriend was 14 and they did this and that and they're in their 30s, maybe that's not a one I'd be scared of. But if you had one down the road here, he got caught for child pornography, or he got caught with a, a man with a little young boy, or a man with a little underage female, then that's a problem to me. I'm going to be, I would not buy a house if I looked at it and the sex offenders are like 3 or 4 doors down and I had little kids. I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, Ruth said, and there was a time when kids were safer. Now it's all out war. I'm wondering if it was really safer back then or if we just didn't hear about it. Because, I mean, I've heard family members talk about somebody that came up missing that they just figured they ran away, they didn't figure anything. How many kids have really been taken that they considered them runaways?
Yeah, I think that, or they may go out on the street as a homeless person.
Yeah.
They go out, or they get mentally detached and they go out in this homeless area, and then if they're homeless, homeless females are taken advantage of at a very, very high rate. You know.
Skitty said she was walking her son to the restroom at a park and saw a man head straight in after for him. And she said loudly, "Okay, I'm right here. Don't take forever." The guy stopped and saw her and stopped. And that was creepy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll tell you too, if you go up to a restroom, your little kid's got to go in it, then if there's a lot of people in there, you may be okay. But if it's just, go in and I'd say go in and tell me if anybody's in there. If they go in and say, no, nobody's in there, I stand at the door where I could see in the restroom, say, don't, no, my son's in there. I don't want anybody in there with him. I mean, if they don't like it, tough, you know.
But if there's a place where it's got male, female, or family, send them to the family bathroom.
Go in there with them.
No, I haven't heard from Aaron.
I haven't heard from Aaron. I haven't heard from retired Sergeant Melinda either. I don't know where she's at either.
She sent me a couple of texts.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
And we haven't seen with Julie.
Yeah, Julie.
Julie, I don't know what's going on with Julie.
Christmas.
Well, listen, we're going to let y'all go. We're going to, I'm not saying that we're not going to be on more than once a week. We just have a lot of stuff going on right now. It's just, we're going to be in like tomorrow we leave. Tomorrow we leave?
Yes.
Tomorrow we're going to leave for Tennessee again.
Yes, you're right. Seconds do count, cheat no more.
Yeah.
Because you cannot I can't imagine having a grandchild and taking them to the store or whatever, and their parent getting mad because I took them in the bathroom with me. I mean, my gosh, a child, listen, even a 10-year-old can be tricked,
I was actually went into a bathroom recently at Cracker Barrel or somewhere, a restaurant, and a guy had carried his little girl in there and had her, she was in there, and I told him, I said, you're a good dad, man. I wouldn't let my little girl in the other restroom either. Lord help the person that if I had a little kid and I saw some creep follow them into the restroom to do something with them. I'm just telling you, I might need bond money. That's all I'd say.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's getting late. We're going to close, but let's end in prayer, because just reading some of y'all's comments, a lot of y'all are having to deal with the same thing that we're dealing with, which is family members that are not speaking to one another or mad at each other or whatever. And we're spending tomorrow with Dakota and Christmas with Mindy because they're not speaking right now. And that's the last thing I would have expected from my children, was for them to be not speaking, and it hurts. And this is the second Christmas that they've not spent together with us, which makes it hard on us. But anyway, I can see on here, Mystic, don't worry. Mystic, please do not worry about saying things like that, because you're not alone in this. It's obvious that you look on here, there's others that are having trouble with their children, or brothers and sisters. I've got a brother that hasn't spent Christmas with us in 35 years. I've got 6 brothers, and one I haven't seen in 4 years, and the other one I haven't seen in about, I've seen him because I go to his house, but he hasn't been for Christmas in about 30 years. So it's something we all deal with. We're human. And this is the time of year when you want to be surrounded by family, and when you can't be, it hurts. So let's just say a prayer tonight, and I'm just going to lift all of you up in prayer and just ask God to bless us with a peaceful Christmas time. So if y'all will anybody that doesn't want prayer, just bow out now and know that you are loved. And yeah. So, Father, we come to you right now. And first of all, God, we want to thank you that you are our Heavenly Father, and that, God, nothing affects us that hasn't gone through your hands. Everything is Father filtered. And God, we know that you are the everlasting, loving Father, full of grace and mercy. And that, God, we can never do anything that would cause you to turn your back on us. And God, I just pray right now for those that are on our channel right now, God, that are dealing with having to spend Christmas alone because of splits in the family, or hard feelings, or misunderstood words, God, for whatever reason. And God, we know that in our hearts as Christians, we are called to forgive no matter what. And so, God, I ask that if there is any unforgiveness in our hearts at this time, that you would bring it to our mind, that we would confess it before you. And God, sometimes it's hard to forgive those people that have hurt us so desperately. But God, we know that through you, they can be forgiven. So, God, I ask if there's anyone in my life that I've not forgiven, that you would help me to forgive them through you and love them through you and see them through your eyes. Because, God, we're all human and we all hurt. We all bleed and we all cry out in pain. And God, I just pray right now that you would bring a peace that passes all understanding, that there will be ways where families will come together this year that they didn't think it would happen. And I pray, God, that none of us will be alone or feel deserted at Christmas time. I pray, God, that you will even now let your forgiveness through the families just flow. God, I ask that we just have a peaceful Christmas, a wonderful Christmas time, and we remember that it's not about the presents, it's not about the food, it's not about anything else except your son and what he gave up for us, his life. And God, we thank you for Jesus. And Lord, we look forward to the day when we will spend Christmases in heaven with you. And God, we just praise you and we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right, boys and girls, we will see y'all the next time. What day is Christmas anyway?
Saturday is Christmas.
So probably next week.
Wait a minute. It says, Ruth says there's some new blue pills on the streets that are deadly than drugs. Fentanyl. We're in the end times and we need grace and discernment. Around the world is getting so dark. Yes, it is.
Yeah, we're very familiar. I'm very familiar with fentanyl. They've had to give a lot of police officers Narcan because it affects it so bad. Okay, well, God bless y'all. We love y'all, and we hope to see you next time.
Bye, y'all. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Wait a minute. What am I doing here? Okay.
He's lost again.
I'm lost again. Good night, y'all.